Well, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Dan Griffin. I'm the Director of Athletics Communication here at Kent State University. It is an exciting day as we get to talk a little football. We're about under a month away from the start of the 2021 season. And obviously, yesterday's big news was the contract extension for our head coach, Sean Lewis. And with that, we'll kick things over to our Director of Athletics, Randall Richmond. We also have a Senior Deputy Director of Athletics, Greg Gloss, here to answer some of the business end questions. And then obviously Coach Lewis to talk a little bit about the excitement surrounding the 2021 season. Once that we've gone through our opening statements, I will ask you guys to kind of give me a note in the chat that you have a question. I will then call on you. You can unmute and we'll kind of run the process from there. I would like to let everybody know that this is being recorded. We will post this to our Kent State Athletics Golden Flashes TV YouTube channel, but if you'd like a direct copy, I will leave my information in the chat so you guys can request one and I'll be able to send that off to you once we are all said and done here. So with that, I would like to turn things over to our Director of Athletics, Randall Richmond. And sir, like we were saying, an exciting time here in Kent.
Good afternoon, everyone. What an exciting time it is to be here at Kent State University. This is one heck of a moment to be in front of you all announcing the extension of Coach Lewis's contract, as well as the continuance of the flash fast era of Kent State football. That's a big deal here, not on this campus, within our conference and within the nation. So we're pumped about that part of it. So it doesn't just stop there. Other things we're excited about is that, this contract extension represents everything we talk about in terms of being student-centered, coach-led, and administrator-supported. What Coach Lewis and his staff has been able to do with our football team has been a reflection of great leadership, not only out there on the football field, but in the classroom where they have over 3.0 GPA, 21 graduate student athletes coming back to this program. That's remarkable, as well as in the community and on campus. That's leadership. And that's a testament to that group and how they're going about it here on this campus. One thing that I've learned very quickly, you all didn't come here to talk to me. So I'm going to go ahead and be quiet and close it off right there and pass it over to our head football coach, Sean Lewis.
Randall, thank you. Obviously, again, to echo those sentiments, very, very excited about the news. It's probably the most awkward press conference ever that we're talking about my contract in this. I understand that it's news, but Alan and everyone who's been around me for all this long time knows that I just want to talk about my team and the excitement of the team and the hard work that they put in the past 4 days. But very excited, very thankful. My family and I absolutely love Kent, Ohio. We took a leap of faith here years ago to come here, to bet on ourselves, to bet on this staff, and to bet on the people that we could get around us. We've been able to do that. We've laid a solid foundation. This is just the start. We're just getting rolling, and very thankful for Randall, Greg, your leadership, your support, President Dyken, and everyone that's made this possible, and the long commitment that Kent State has made to the Flash Fast football era, and excited to continue to build, and very humbled to serve and to lead here at Kent State.
Well, thank you, Coach. And again, if you guys have a question, just message me in the chat. I will call on you. But Coach, let's start things off with talking a little bit about your team, but what you guys have been able to do off the field. Randall mentioned it. You're one of 12 teams reported right now that have 20 or more graduates on the field of play in 21. He mentioned the great strides you guys have made in the classroom as well with the team GPA. Just kind of talk about the hustle that starts on the field and is continued in the classroom.
Yeah, firm believer since day one that our sole purpose here is to help groom young people, that when they leave Kent State and they leave our football program, that they're going to be great members of the community and they're going to be great ambassadors of our university. So that's been top of mind from the very beginning. And there's a lot of things outside the white lines that are very much more in our control than what happens in between the white lines. So that's been top of mind from the very beginning. And we've been able to take huge strides to be able to graduate the young men and to have the 21 young men that are currently graduates and working towards, a second undergraduate degree or a graduate degree. And to have those young people go out into the world and represent us when this is all said and done is really what it's about. And to use this great game of football to teach life lessons. It's an old cliche, but it's the reason why it's a cliche. How you do anything is how you do everything. So we're going to be champions in all areas of our life. And it's something that we take with a great sense of pride.
Well, thank you, Coach. Let's go to Alan Moff with the Record Courier next. Alan, you've got a couple questions?
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, Sean, I mean, you've been here now for, this is going into your fourth year. Obviously you have a pretty good grip on what what you have and what you would really like to have as far as the program goes. Can you kind of talk a little bit about that and what you were able to maybe kind of, sell that you needed and maybe were able to receive based on this new contract extension that you just received?
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing was taking care of our student athletes and taking care of the staff, and I think that's reflected in the contract, and to be able to, first and foremost, the number one priority is always going to be serving these kids and to give them the resources and the tools that they need to compete at a championship level and to continue to move our program to an elite level in the group of five, level of play. So the commitments that are within the contract for that year in and year out are awesome, that give us the ability to serve our young people. And then secondly, to be able to, have great people leading our young men. Obviously, this is a unique setup with football to where the size of our roster, the number of people that are involved, to have everyone be at their best and to improve and perform day in and day out. I need a great staff. And it's a testament to their hard work and the way that they serve. Again, this is weird for me because it's about my contract, but it's really my people. And the fact that they're being able to be taken care of in this manner because of their support, their loyalty, and their commitment to Kent. Really, really grateful for that. So taking care of those two factors is going to allow us to continue to grow and elevate in all areas so that we can continue to be competitors and be a viable force in this league and beyond for years to come.
You've been asked to play the three, major Power 5 games every non-conference season. Is there any flexibility worked into the new contract as far as that goes? Having to play those three, or is there any input that you have in that or anything like that?
Ever since Rendell, day one, has been here on campus, him and I have had open dialogue about future scheduling and what our strategy is going to be towards that. It's been awesome, been well received. Rendell's been very transparent about all the things that we need to do. I've been very honest and upfront about what I think our best course of action is, and they've been very productive conversations going forward. So again, really pleased to commit going forward and know that our vision is aligned for what we want Flash Fast football to be.
Alan, do you have any more questions for Coach?
Not related to that, but just some general football questions. If you want to give me that. I'll help you out here, Coach. Just kind of talk about the early portion of camp here.
There we go. It's been awesome, to have 4 days of preseason camp, to have this part of the year back, to have this phase of the process back has been awesome. We've had 2 days in helmets, which was great. We've had 2 days, the past 2 days, we've had our uppers on, so helmets and shoulder pads. Today's our first day off. One of the things that we took out of the COVID year and to learn from that and be better because of it was kind of the workflow that we had of number of days on versus days off, so that we could get through the time that we had staying at the highest quality level and keeping our kids healthy and safe so that we could have competitive depth, which we do. So I've been able to do that. Defense has been well out ahead, outperforming the offense right now, which is great. We've gotten some new pieces that have really showed up and some old faces that have come back into the mix. KJ Sherrill's been flying around, being very opportunistic. Guys up front have been very disruptive, and it's been fun. It's been competitive. Defense has been in club tub the past 4 days. So, I've been at an arm's length away from that in all of our competitive periods. So hopefully one of these days I can go running up there and do a cannonball on one of those ice baths sometime soon. But I love the way our guys are competing. It's been a lot of fun.
Alan, keep firing. Again, if you guys have some questions for Coach Lewis, please make a mention of it in the chat. I do have a couple of go-to questions, but let's stick with you, Moff.
Okay. Wow. As an offensive coach, the defense being ahead, what do you think of that?
I love it. You know, we're going to pride ourselves on playing complementary football. You know, and the job that Coach Kaufman and the defensive staff has done, you know, from the time that the season ended, and getting that side of the ball prepared for camp, you know, through spring ball and having the time to really dive deeper into the philosophical change that we made, where that was a little bit herky jerky because of last season. We've really been able to take that deep dive, have this time right now. You know, that's not uncommon. Shoot, this is my 13th camp, you know, as a coach. And, you know, it's one of those deals where the rhythm and the timing of the offense, you know, some new wide receivers in different spots. We're shuffling the deck with some of the offensive linemen and everything. And the defensive guys are being very opportunistic. They're playing with confidence. They're flying around and attacking to the football. So I like it. You know, it's good that we get a little bit of humble pie on the offensive side of the ball. And there's a nice competitive nature day in and day out to what we're doing.
Obviously, run defense being the thing you know, every time I talk about that again. But you know, you did a lot of things there. You mentioned the change in philosophy. You brought a lot of kids in. Just kind of talk about where you think you are there.
Yeah, you know, we haven't had any live work yet, Alan, with obviously being in helmets and shoulder pads. So we haven't done really any live blocking and tackling. So still too early to tell, but I've really been pleased with some of the early pieces that we have added to the defensive front, just the nature and their daily process that they've been going through. Antoine Cook that we added has been really, really disruptive, and he's got a maturity about him and just a growth mindset approach that day in and day out, you know, he's just very attentive. He's very present, asking good questions. And then when it's time to go, you know, there's moments where he's still figuring it out, but he's going 1,000,000 miles per hour. And if he's making a mistake, I tell you what, his effort is a great eraser. Demir Faison, excuse me, has been a nice addition again up front, doing some good things. You know, we've added some people at level 2, whether it be Luke Miller, Shane Slattery, Marvin Pierre at the linebacker level, have been doing some really good things. And then again, with the way that the aggressive nature that our safeties play and add into, and having KJ in the back end kind of acting as the quarterback and setting the table, and Dean Clark, you know, Northeast Ohio's own, continuing to grow and develop in the back end and getting more confidence within the system. It's just a more unified group where all 11 are playing together right now, which obviously bodes well for greater success.
What is, like, not really going back to the contract, but just kind of the general news when that comes out? You know, there's so much excitement with the program right now. Just what is it like when they hear, when the players hear about things like this happen?
Yeah, it was really cool. You know, I was able, obviously things kind of broke after practice yesterday, and we were locked away in the meeting room reviewing the tape and everything. And in the evening, you know, each night we have a team meeting, and I kind of went off script and just thanked the guys again. You know, it's this has been built because a collection of people came together, bought into an idea, had faith to go after the shared vision. And so I thank them. And you know, it was really neat, the reception and the back and forth. I'm not going to go much deeper than that. It's pretty private matter, that something that I'll hold very near and dear to my heart. That was really, really cool. Really cool. And some of the guys who have been around from the very beginning, you know, some of the things that they said, and then, you know, also kind of unexpected. That was really neat. Some former players, you know, Brian Winters got a hold of my number, and the text going back and forth between him and I, and just to hear the pride that our alumni have, our football specific alumni have, you know, and just some of the messages that I received yesterday was, again, very humbling and really powerful. So it's great to have this energy, this traction, because of what we've done in the past. But again, you know how I feel about it, Alan. We haven't done a whole lot, and I'm very, very hungry to keep going and keep growing. But those moments, those shared moments, were pretty intimate and very, very meaningful to me and the staff.
Are you still going, was it pads Thursday?
Yeah, so we'll be, I got to get my days right here. It's Tuesday, right? In the real world, it's Tuesday. So yeah, we'll be in full pads for the first time on Thursday.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm good, Coach.
Once again, guys, if you got a question for Coach Lewis or our Director of Athletics, Randall Richmond, please just drop it in the chat. I will call on you and then ask you to unmute. But Coach Moff touched on this a little bit, but it is certainly every football season is an exciting time, but especially here in Canada at Kent State, for those that haven't been too familiar with the team, because you've won 7 of your last 8, and only one of them was in front of home fans. So why should people be excited about what we've got brewing here this fall?
Yeah, I mean, bottom line, like you said, winners win. We've won 7 out of the last 8, and obviously it's a heck of a lot of fun to come out to Dick Stadium, see an exciting brand of football, where we're going to fly around defensively. We're going to have the ability to change the game within special teams, and we have the reigning first team all conference quarterback and a lot of dynamic skills positions and an old line that likes to get after it. So we're balanced attack, play complementary football. It's a fun brand of football to watch. We play fast in all 3 phases where we're going to hunt the ball, we're going to score, and do it in a very fun manner. So get your tickets, show up early, get your popcorn, get your buttons in the seats, and we're going to score some points and have some fun and get a party going at Dick Stadium that happens to have a football game going on. So it's a great environment for everyone to be there at.
Randall, I'll ask you to kind of piggyback off of that one as you can kind of speak to the excitement going on all across campus.
Yeah, I mean, you see the energy jumping through your Zoom screens. I mean, that's what it's about. And it's permeated throughout the entire department, the entire staff. And, there's nothing like a fall kickoff of our sports. I mean, football is a premier for that, and we have our other sports going. So you come for that game and you get a chance to take in field hockey, volleyball, and, soccer, as it's going on. So that's that part of it. In terms of our football team, that's, number 1 offense, scoring offense in yards, as I saw, in the nation. That's what you're seeing. All the things that you say that you think people should have done that you've been doing on Madden or whatever game it is you're playing, we're doing it in real life right there at Dick Stadium. I couldn't think of anything more exciting to see that take place. So you get your passes, they get it down the field and they get it down the field accurately. So it's an exciting brand of football. It's an exciting coaching staff. And hey, we got a new regime, a new energy to this point. So that's a good thing in that sense. And we want to make sure we infuse that in the entire community. And we're doing a better job of that. So when we come around that football game, that's one chance for you to take a look at it. And this is something that I think it was Dr. Lamar Hilton across campus or somebody on the president's campus cabinet brought it up, that for our incoming freshmen and for those who were freshmen last year, this is their first real opportunity to see what college athletics is about on campus. So basically, we got 2 first-time classes that we get to introduce to college sports. And I couldn't think of anything greater than that. So there's going to be a great opportunity come this fall.
I agree, sir. And with Coach Alan, you had a question for Randall. Again, guys, if you have any questions for the group, please message me in the chat. I'll call on you and ask you to unmute and continue about the press conference. But Alan, go ahead.
Yeah, Randall, you've been there, been the director of athletics for about 3 months now. Just kind of talk about getting your footing as far as figuring out what your priorities were, and obviously this being one of the highest ones. I believe this is your 3rd coach that you've extended since you got there, and it hasn't been that long.
Yeah, it has not, but it's been great. The work that we received, an opportunity to set our foundation has been awesome. The strategic plan is going to be one of those next big things that we're going to have coming out, and it's all setting this foundation. I'm similar to Coach Lou. The energy's fine, and all the different philosophies are great, but actionably, like tangibly, what do they mean? And we've been able to go in different phases of getting things set up. So this leadership group, this leadership team, Greg Gloss running our vision for the department, getting those things situated has been awesome. We know what we're here to do. Graduate student athletes boldly prepare for life after sport and win championships. That's awesome. We know what our guiding principle is, so we have these things all set up and we're repeating them and we're actually doing them, giving examples of them every day. So there's going to be rough days. Those are all part of leadership, but man, the stuff that we've been building into this program for continued success all across the board has been awesome for the first 90 days here, and such fabulous coaches. And we're just minding them and for all the talent they have and making sure it's being shared across all of our groups because that's going to be a value add for all of our coaches. Now, why would we want to do all that? Because it's going to benefit these student athletes to the highest accord. And we're going to make sure that they understand that we're here for them in the most positive way possible.
Can you kind of branch off that a little bit and ask Sean the same thing about, seeing some things that he thought needed to be done when he got here, and now that he's had this opportunity to kind of do some things and to help his kids and help his coaches and help the program in general, just kind of talk about that as being another thing that is really important.
Yeah, for me, the number one thing was alignment. words reveal themselves when you work in these types of roles. And alignment was the number one thing that revealed itself. Alignment with campus, alignment within our structures within the department, and then alignment within our leadership. So for me, that's been the biggest focus coming in. And I think we've been able to do that, because if you're going out for this season, as we're getting started, post-pandemic-ish, having that type of alignment has been vitally important for us. We're trying to be as intuitive of a department as we can be. If you see a person in a role, you think they should have access or do this, then they do that, right? So we can make sure people know who to go to. Makes us more efficient in terms of structure. That's not the sexy, fun stuff, but it's the stuff that helps you to become successful. So that's why I'm so excited that we've been able to get that stabilized.
Can you touch on obviously this was nothing to do with you, the fact that they've played the 3 Power Fives for the last several years, and what that might look like moving forward? I know that, maybe the philosophy is a little bit different now and that type of thing as far as what you're asking the program to do.
Yeah, I think that's a good question, Alan. The main thing that Sean and I will do is have conversations. We're going to be certain opportunities that Kent State can take full advantage of. Whether it is a guarantee game or it's not a guarantee game. How is that going to impact the program? Where does that fit into our guiding principle? And how is that meeting our goals? So I don't have specifics. I don't want to talk about those directly here today, but that's mostly the approach. How is it really going to be a value add, a benefit add for the program? And those would be the candid, honest, and transparent conversations that we have.
All right, we'll make one last call here for questions for Coach or for Randell. All right, ladies and gentlemen, kickoff September 4th, 8 p.m. down in College Station. It's on ESPNU, but September 11th, 11:30 a.m. And that's VMI. And we can count down the days. I'm looking forward to it, guys. Thank you all for attending, and go Flashes.
Go Flashes.